Hey everybody, this is NJ Pawley out here outside Cody, Wyoming, and this is my ka75 air hammer. There was a discussion a while back about how I've got it plumbed and how I run the air to it. So I've moved this hammer about once a year, sometimes twice a year for the last 6 or 7 years. I've been in Arizona, I've been in Park City, Utah. I've moved it twice since I've been back in Wyoming. And of course, every time you move it, that gives you the opportunity to better, the system that you have it going on. So this is how I've got it set up now. I knew I was going to be moving it around a lot. When I originally got the air hammer, I was down in Park City, Utah, and I went to Eveco, and I got about 50 foot of this half-inch air hose done. And then what I did is I had a spin fitting on one end of the hose put in, and the other end's a hard fitting. And so that runs back to this manifold that I've made that's attached to this big old propane tank. Now this propane tank, what I did is I just put a valve at the bottom of it. I just welded in a valve at the bottom, as you can see, and I used it to get rid of the air. I use that for water, to get rid of the water out of it. Okay, but it comes back into this manifold, and I just because I'm out here in the middle of nowhere and it's so hard to get parts for any of this stuff now that I've moved back to Wyoming. This is a regulator that I got from Harbor Freight. I'm pretty sure that one came from Harbor Freight. And I've got I put a gauge on this one, and then behind that is the filter and water remover. This takes the water. And I put a series of valves in so I could isolate the air out of the air hammer. And then I use this butterfly valve, this second butterfly valve, as a oiler valve. So what I do is I can use this one to shut the air off coming out of the tank. And then I can open this valve and I can put a little oil in there. I've been using, thanks to my buddy Joel, who worked in the oil patch for years and years, he told me about Marvel's Mystery Oil, which is what they use in all the air tools out in the oil patch here in Wyoming. So I've been giving a couple of drops of the mystery oil in there, and that keeps that and this nice little heater keeps the valve in this from freezing up on days like this. It's about 15 degrees in here today. I don't even try to run it when it's that cold. I generally won't start it up unless it gets to around freezing. So the last day I ran this was the other day when it was 30 degrees here. So anyway, that allows me to isolate and oil only the machine, because I also have a plasma cutter which I run off of this machine, and that's where this big filter comes in this regulator unit, which I also got from Harbor Freight. We'll see how long it lasts. They're super cheap. So we'll kind of see. I'm pretty satisfied with the way it works so far. I use a lot of air tools. My anvil setup and everything is right here, as you can see, right here next to the air hammer. It's all on the same level. There's another video in this series of videos I did about this, and it tells all about how I got this set up. So I've got my air hose mounted right here next to this. I can plug that in, and then I can plug the air hammer or the plasma cutter in. I double filter my air hammer, so I've got this filter, and then I've got a filter that hooks into the back of the air hammer. So I'm getting absolutely clean air into my air hammer, or into my plasma cutter. On the KA, they recommend a 5 horsepower compressor. I didn't have the money to spend on a 2-stage 5 horsepower compressor. So what I got is just one of these. Essentially, it's the same. This one came from Home Depot, but essentially I think it's exactly the same thing that you can get at Harbor Freight or any of those. I have had to replace the compressor head on this. I did it last year after 5 years, and I use it. It definitely gets used, and of course this little compressor gets used hard when you're really hammering with the air hammer. So I've got this 60-gallon tank, and then I think that I think that tank is probably 70 or 80 gallons. Oh no, it's bigger than a 70. It's probably a 90 or 100 gallon old propane tank. So I've got like 160 gallons, 150 gallons of air. I can get, when everything's running good and it's all warmed up, I can get about 40 or 42 strikes out of the air hammer without the compressor kicking on. And for me and the little stuff I'm doing, you know, I do a lot of this kind of stuff with the trip, the little back plates, and a lot of knife blanks, and it works real good so far. I haven't found anything that works good. I would love to get it hard plumbed at some point in time, and I'd use some bigger hose, because that allows you to have air. You know, you store air in your, I mean, if you're using 4-inch pipe out of the oil field, you get all that storage in that pipe. But where I've been moving this so much, there's not much sense in me doing that. So I've just been using this soft line, and it seems to work all right. And I think I don't get the moisture in the line because of the rubber hose. I don't think it condenses on the inside of the rubber hose as bad as if I had it hard plumbed. I don't know. That could be just me saying that. I don't have any proof of that. But I get very little water buildup when I'm using this, and a lot of that has to do with how low the relative humidity is here too. So anyway, there you go. I hope that helps you guys, and please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and like me on Facebook and everything. If you have any questions, or I can answer any questions for you, the easiest way to get a hold of me is on my Facebook page, which is Running Iron Works. Thanks, everybody.